Ladies and gentlemen, loneliness is often misunderstood. People assume it is a failure to connect, but for a woman with no friends, it can be a deliberate choice, a path of resilience and strength. There is power in walking alone, even in a world that celebrates social connections. She doesn't need validation from others to define her worth. Her solitude isn't emptiness, it's a canvas where she paints her dreams, builds her courage, and discovers who she truly is. There is something remarkable about the woman who can stand in the quiet, unshaken by the absence of applause. Her strength isn't measured by how many people surround her, but by how confidently she navigates life without them. Every day she wakes up with the same challenges as anyone else. Yet she carries the burden of society's judgment. A world that whispers, why is she alone, but she knows better than to let these whispers define her. In her solitude, she finds clarity. She doesn't chase friendships to fill a void. Instead, she confronts the void and learns to embrace it. It takes courage to walk a path unlit by the comfort of companionship. But in that darkness, she lights her own way. People often misunderstand her strength. They assume she must be broken, damaged, or too difficult to love. But the truth is, she has chosen herself. Her journey is not about rejection from others, it is about the acceptance of herself. She has decided that her time, her energy, and her life are too valuable to waste on shallow relationships or toxic people. She doesn't settle for less than she deserves because she knows that loneliness is a better companion than fake friends. There's a world inside her that many will never understand. Her thoughts are vast, her dreams unspoken, and her determination unbreakable. While others seek distraction in social gatherings, she seeks growth in solitude. Every moment she spends alone is an investment in herself, a step toward becoming the woman she was always meant to be. She reads, learns, and reflects, sharpening her mind and strengthening her spirit. Alone doesn't mean lonely, it means focused. Her life isn't empty because it lacks people, it's full because it has meaning. She doesn't need validation from social media likes or endless phone calls to feel alive. Her joy comes from small victories, finishing a book that taught her something new, waking up early to watch the sunrise, or taking a walk and listening to the world around her. These moments, seemingly insignificant to others, are her treasures. She has built a fortress of peace around her, and not everyone is welcome inside. The woman with no friends is not weak, she's a warrior. She has faced the battles of rejection, betrayal, and loneliness and emerged stronger. She doesn't crumble under the weight of isolation, she rises above it. In a world that teaches women to rely on others, she has learned to rely on herself. She is her own best friend, her own cheerleader, and her own guide. She knows that true strength comes from within, not from the approval of others. When you look at her, you might not see the silent struggle she has endured. You might not notice the tears she has cried behind closed doors or the nights she spent wondering if something was wrong with her. But those moments have shaped her into who she is today, a woman who doesn't need a crowd to feel complete. Her solitude has given her a gift that many never receive: self-awareness. She knows who she is, and she's not afraid to stand alone. She doesn't envy those surrounded by people. She knows that many friendships are built on convenience, not connection. She sees the smiles that hide insecurity, the laughter that masks pain, and the gatherings that are more about appearances than authenticity. She chooses quality over quantity, even if it means standing alone. Because she understands that being surrounded by people who don't truly see her is far lonelier than being alone. Her journey is not easy, but it is rewarding. Every step she takes is a step toward freedom from societal expectations, freedom from the need for validation, and freedom to be herself. She has learned to love her own company, to find joy in her own thoughts, and to build a life that she is proud of. She doesn't wait for others to make her happy, she creates her own happiness. The world tells her that she needs friends to be complete, but she knows better. She doesn't need anyone else to complete her, she is already whole. She doesn't measure her worth by how many people want to be around her. Instead, she measures it by how true she is to herself. She has discovered the beauty of independence, the strength of self-reliance, and the peace that comes from being unapologetically herself. people might pity her, but she doesn't need their pity. She is not a victim of her circumstances. She is a creator of her destiny. She has chosen to walk a different path, one that requires bravery and resilience. She doesn't let the world's expectations dictate her choices. Instead, she listens to her own heart and follows it, even if it leads her away from the crowd. There's a kind of magic in her solitude. It allows her to see the world in ways that others cannot. She notices the beauty in the small things, the lessons in the challenges, and the opportunities in the struggles. While others are distracted by the noise of the world, she is tuned in to the whispers of her soul. She doesn't need a crowd to feel alive because she has found life within herself. The woman with no friends is not a woman to be underestimated. She has a depth that many will never understand, a strength that many will never possess, and a courage that many will never admire. She is proof that you don't need a tribe to thrive, that you can build a life of meaning and purpose on your own. She is not afraid to stand alone because she knows that she is never truly alone. She has herself, and that is enough. Her story is one of triumph, not tragedy. It is a story of choosing self-worth over societal approval, inner peace over external validation, and authenticity over conformity. She is not defined by her lack of friends, but by her abundance of courage, resilience, and self-love. She is a woman who walks alone, not because she has to, but because she chooses to. Her path may be silent, but it is filled with purpose. A woman with no friends is not chasing distractions or shallow connections. She is chasing her dreams. She has learned that the energy she gives to the wrong people drains her of the strength she needs to build her future. So she holds her energy close, reserving it for the things that truly matter. While others spread themselves thin trying to please everyone, she focuses on pleasing herself. She is building a life that reflects her values, her goals, and her truth. She knows that loneliness can feel heavy at times, but she has learned to carry it gracefully. It is in these moments of solitude that she discovers who she really is. She doesn't run from her feelings or hide from her pain. She confronts them head on. She knows that growth comes from facing the hard things, not avoiding them, so she allows herself to feel every emotion, to sit with every thought, and to learn from every experience. She is not afraid of being alone because she knows it is in the silence that she becomes stronger. Her strength intimidates many because it is rare. In a world where people rely on each other for validation, she stands as a testament to the power of self-reliance. She doesn't need anyone to tell her she's enough. She already knows it. Her confidence isn't loud or boastful. It's quiet and unshakable. She walks into every room with her head held high, not because she is better than anyone else, but because she knows she is enough, just as she is enough. She has learned to find joy in the little things. While others are busy chasing big dreams or worrying about what others think, she finds happiness in the simplicity of life. A good book, a walk in nature, a moment of silence, these are the things that bring her peace. She doesn't need extravagant vacations or big celebrations to feel alive. Her life is full because she has learned to appreciate the beauty in the small moments that others overlook. The world often sees her as an enigma. People wonder how she can be so content without friends, so at peace without constant social interaction. But they don't understand the journey she has been on, the battle she has fought, or the strength she has gained. Her life isn't empty because it lacks people, it is full because it is her own. She has built a life that reflects her values, her dreams, and her truth. She doesn't need others to validate her feelings or confirm her decisions. She trusts herself completely. She knows that her intuition is her greatest guide, and she listens to it without hesitation. While others second-guess themselves or seek approval from others, she moves forward with confidence. She doesn't need anyone to tell her she's on the right path because she feels it in her heart. There's a calmness in her that comes from knowing she is enough. She doesn't rush through life trying to keep up with others. She moves at her own pace, confident in her own timing. She knows that life isn't a race, and she refuses to let society's expectations dictate her journey. She is in control of her own destiny, and she takes every step with intention. The world might not celebrate her, but she doesn't need its applause. She knows that true success isn't about recognition, it's about living a life that feels true to who you are. She doesn't measure her worth by how many people admire her or how many friends she has. Her worth comes from within, from the knowledge that she is living authentically and unapologetically. While others chase after relationships to fill their emptiness, she chases after her purpose. She knows that true fulfillment doesn't come from other people, it comes from within. She has found a purpose that gives her life meaning, and she pursues it with everything she has. Her days are filled with passion, not because someone else gives her a reason to wake up, but because she has found that reason within herself. She has faced rejection and betrayal, but she doesn't let those experiences define her. Instead, she uses them as lessons, as opportunities to grow and become stronger. She knows that every person who has walked out of her life has taught her something valuable. She doesn't hold on to bitterness or resentment. She lets go of the past and focuses on building a brighter future. Her life might look simple from the outside, but it is rich and complex on the inside. She has dreams that she is working toward, goals that she is achieving, and a vision for her future that drives her forward. She doesn't need anyone else to make her life meaningful because she has found meaning within herself. She is proof that you don't need a large circle to build a beautiful life, you just need a strong sense of self. The woman with no friends has learned to be her own support system. She doesn't rely on others to pick her up when she falls, she picks herself up. She doesn't wait for someone to motivate her, she motivates herself. She doesn't look for someone else to make her happy, she creates her own happiness. She is self-sufficient in every way, and that is her superpower. She knows that the world often misunderstands her. People assume she must be lonely, sad, or broken. But she doesn't let their opinions affect her. She knows who she is and she knows her worth. She doesn't need anyone else to validate her existence because she has already validated it for herself. Her life is her own, and she lives it on her terms. Her solitude is not a weakness, it is a strength. It has taught her resilience, independence, and self-love. It has given her the freedom to live authentically and the courage to stand alone. She doesn't see her lack of friends as a problem, she sees it as an opportunity to grow, to learn, and to become the best version of herself. The woman with no friends is a force to be reckoned with. She is not defined by her relationships, but by her character, her values, and her strength. She is a reminder that you don't need a crowd to be powerful, that you don't need others to define your worth, and that you don't need anyone else to complete you. She is complete on her own, and that is her greatest power. She stands tall, not because life has been easy, but because she has learned how to weather every storm. A woman with no friends knows what it's like to feel the sting of isolation, but instead of letting it break her, she has used it to build herself up. Each struggle has become a brick in the foundation of her strength. She doesn't crumble under pressure, she thrives in it, proving to herself time and time again that she is capable of overcoming anything. Her journey hasn't been without pain, but she carries her scars with pride. Each one tells a story of resilience, of battles fought and won. She doesn't hide from her past or try to erase her struggles, she embraces them as part of who she is. These experiences have shaped her into the woman she is today, strong, fearless, and unshakable. While the world often equates solitude with weakness, she knows better. Her solitude is her sanctuary, a place where she can reflect, grow, and dream. It is in the quiet moments that she finds her greatest clarity. She doesn't need the noise of others to drown out her thoughts. She welcomes the silence because it allows her to hear her own voice. Her days are not empty, they are full of purpose. She fills her time with things that matter to her, learning, creating, and pursuing her goals. She doesn't waste her energy on meaningless conversations or superficial connections. Every moment is an opportunity for growth, and she doesn't take a single one for granted. She has learned to be her own biggest cheerleader. In a world that often tries to tear people down, she builds herself up. She speaks to herself with kindness and encouragement, knowing that her inner dialogue shapes her reality. She doesn't wait for others to support her, she gives herself the support she needs. Her independence is her strength, but it doesn't mean she doesn't value connection. She understands the importance of meaningful relationships, but she refuses to settle for anything less than authentic. She would rather be alone than surrounded by people who don't truly care about her. Her standards are high, not because she is difficult, but because she knows her worth. She doesn't need a crowd to feel validated. While others may seek attention and approval from the world, she finds her validation within. She knows that her value isn't determined by how many people like her or follow her. It's determined by her character, her actions, and her integrity. She lives by her own standards, not society's. Her solitude has taught her the value of self-care. She knows how to nurture her mind, body, and soul. She prioritizes her well-being because she understands that she cannot pour from an empty cup. She takes the time to rest, to recharge, and to do the things that bring her joy. She is not afraid to put herself first because she knows that her happiness matters. The woman with no friends is not bitter or angry, she is at peace. She doesn't hold grudges against those who have hurt her or blame others for her circumstances. She takes responsibility for her life and focuses on what she can control. She chooses to let go of negativity and embrace positivity because she knows that her mindset shapes her reality. Her strength lies in her ability to adapt. Life hasn't always gone as planned, but she has learned to roll with the punches. She doesn't dwell on the past or worry about the future, she focuses on the present moment. She knows that the only thing she can control is her attitude, and she chooses to approach life with courage and optimism. She has learned to trust herself completely. She doesn't second guess her decisions or doubt her abilities. She knows that she is capable of handling whatever comes her way. While others may seek guidance from those around them, she turns inward, trusting her intuition to guide her. Her confidence in herself is unshakable. Her life is a testament to the power of resilience. She has faced challenges that would have broken others, yet she has come out stronger. She doesn't let her circumstances define her, she defines herself. She is proof that you don't need anyone else to create a meaningful, fulfilling life. All you need is the courage to be true to yourself. The woman with no friends is a rare breed in a world that fears solitude. She doesn't conform to societal expectations or follow the crowd, she blazes her own trail. Her life may not look like everyone else's, but that's what makes it so beautiful. She is living proof that there is strength in standing alone. Her story is one of triumph, not tragedy. While others may see her lack of friends as a loss, she sees it as a gift. It has given her the freedom to live authentically, to focus on her goals, and to become the best version of herself. She doesn't see herself as incomplete because she knows she is whole. Her life is a masterpiece in progress. She is constantly learning, growing, and evolving. She doesn't settle for mediocrity or accept less than she deserves. She is always striving to reach new heights and achieve new dreams. She knows that the journey is just as important as the destination, and she embraces every step with gratitude and determination. Her journey is one of quiet transformation. While others seek recognition for their achievements, she is content with the satisfaction of knowing she has grown. She doesn't need applause or validation because her progress speaks for itself. Every step she takes forward is a reminder of her strength and determination. She has mastered the art of resilience. When life knocks her down, she doesn't stay there. She gets back up stronger and more determined than before. She doesn't let failure define her. Instead, she uses it as a stepping stone to success. She knows that every setback is an opportunity to learn and grow. Her solitude has taught her to value her time. She doesn't waste it on things that don't matter or people who don't appreciate her. She is intentional with every moment, dedicating her energy to pursuits that bring her joy and fulfillment. She knows that time is her most precious resource and she refuses to squander it. She has become her own source of inspiration. While others may look to external role models, she finds motivation within. She draws strength from her own experiences and uses them as fuel to keep moving forward. She doesn't need anyone else to light her path because she carries her own torch. Her life is not about fitting in, it's about standing out. She doesn't conform to societal norms or follow trends just to be accepted. She embraces her uniqueness and uses it as a source of power. She knows that her individuality is what makes her special, and she refuses to compromise it for anyone. She has learned the importance of setting boundaries. She doesn't allow others to take advantage of her or drain her energy. She knows when to say no and isn't afraid to do so. Her boundaries are a reflection of her self-respect, and she enforces them with confidence and grace. Her strength is not just physical or emotional, it's also mental. She has developed a mindset of resilience, determination, and optimism. She doesn't let negativity take root in her mind. Instead, she focuses on the positive and believes in her ability to overcome any challenge. Her mental fortitude is her greatest asset. She doesn't live her life for others, she lives it for herself. While some may seek approval from friends, family, or society, she seeks only to be true to her own values and beliefs. She knows that her happiness is her responsibility, and she doesn't rely on others to provide it. Her solitude is not a weakness, it's a superpower. It has given her the time and space to discover who she really is. She has learned to love herself unconditionally and to embrace every part of her being. Her self-love is unshakable because it comes from within, not from the opinions of others. She has developed a deep sense of gratitude for her life. While others may focus on what they lack, she chooses to focus on what she has. She appreciates the simple joys of life and finds beauty in the small moments. Her gratitude is a source of constant positivity and inspiration. Her journey is not about proving anything to anyone else, it's about proving to herself that she can. She sets goals, works hard, and achieves them, not because she needs recognition, but because she knows she is capable. Her drive comes from within, and it propels her forward every day. She has learned to trust the process. She knows that success doesn't happen overnight, and that every step forward, no matter how small, is progress. She's patient with herself and her journey, knowing that the best things in life take time. Her faith in herself and her path is unwavering. Her life is a testament to the power of self-reliance. She doesn't depend on others to make her happy, to motivate her, or to validate her. She has learned to provide all of these things for herself. Her independence is a source of pride and a reminder of her strength. She doesn't dwell on what she doesn't have, she focuses on what she can create. Her lack of friends has not held her back, it has propelled her forward. She has used her solitude as an opportunity to build a life she loves, filled with purpose, passion, and peace. Her story is not one of loneliness, it's one of empowerment. She has shown that you don't need anyone else to live a fulfilling and meaningful life. All you need is the courage to be yourself, the determination to keep going, and the strength to stand alone. She carries herself with a quiet confidence that comes from knowing she has faced the worst and emerged stronger. A woman with no friends doesn't need to explain her strength to anyone. It is evident in how she handles herself. Every step she takes is a declaration of her resilience and self-belief. Her life is a reflection of her choices, not her circumstances. She refuses to let external factors dictate her happiness or success. Instead, she takes control of her destiny, making deliberate decisions that align with her values and aspirations. She is the architect of her own life. She doesn't fear rejection because she knows it's not a reflection of her worth. She understands that not everyone will appreciate or understand her, and that's okay. She would rather be true to herself than pretend to be someone she's not just to gain acceptance. Her solitude has taught her the art of self-reflection. She knows herself deeply, her strengths, weaknesses, dreams, and fears. This self-awareness gives her a clarity that many people lack. She doesn't get lost in the opinions or expectations of others because she knows exactly who she is. She has learned to find joy in her own company. While others may rely on social interactions for happiness, she creates her own. She reads, writes, explores, and creates, finding fulfillment in her passions. She doesn't wait for others to make her happy because she knows happiness is something she creates for herself. Her independence is not just a choice, it's a necessity. She knows that relying too much on others can lead to disappointment, so she's built a life where she is self-sufficient. She takes pride in her ability to take care of herself and make her own way in the world. She doesn't compare herself to others. While many people get caught up in the trap of comparison, she focuses on her own journey. She knows that everyone's path is different, and that comparing hers to someone else is pointless. She measures her success by her own standards, not by anyone else's. Her story is one of transformation. She has taken the pain of isolation and turned it into a source of strength. She has faced her fears, overcome her insecurities, and built a life that she is proud of. Her journey is proof that even the most difficult circumstances can lead to incredible growth. She doesn't let the opinions of others define her. She knows that people will always have something to say, but she doesn't let their words affect her. She is secure in who she is and doesn't seek approval from anyone. Her sense of self-worth comes from within, not from external validation. She has learned to embrace the unknown. While others may fear change or uncertainty, she welcomes it. She sees every new challenge as an opportunity to grow and every unknown path as a chance to discover something new about herself. Her courage is unwavering. Her life is not about impressing others, it's about fulfilling her own potential. She doesn't chase after superficial success or recognition, she focuses on what truly matters to her. She knows that real success comes from living a life of purpose and authenticity. She has become a beacon of inspiration, not because she seeks to inspire others, but because her story naturally does. Her resilience, independence, and strength are qualities that others admire. She doesn't try to be a role model, she simply lives her life. And her example speaks for itself. She doesn't see herself as a victim of her circumstances, she sees herself as a victor. She has taken control of her narrative and refused to let anyone else write her story. Her life is a testament to the power of perseverance and self-determination. Her journey is far from over. She knows that life will continue to present challenges, but she is ready for them. She doesn't fear the future because she has prepared herself for whatever comes her way. Her strength, resilience, and self-belief will carry her through. She stands as a symbol of what is possible when you refuse to let your circumstances define you. A woman with no friends is not a woman without value, she's a woman who has found her value within. Her story is not one of loss, but one of triumph, a reminder that strength, independence, and self-love are the greatest friends anyone could ever have. She has learned that being alone is not a punishment but a privilege. It is in these moments of solitude that she has discovered her greatest strengths, found her deepest truths, and nurtured her dreams. She doesn't see isolation as a barrier but as a gateway to self-discovery. Her journey has taught her to be unapologetically herself. She doesn't change her personality to fit in or dilute her values to please others. She knows that the right people will accept her for who she is, and she refuses to compromise her authenticity for superficial acceptance. She has developed a vision for her life that is hers alone. While others may follow the crowd or live according to societal expectations, she blazes her own trail. Her life is a testament to her courage to dream big and pursue those dreams, no matter how unconventional they may seem. She doesn't rely on others for validation. She has learned to validate herself through her own efforts, achievements, and values. She knows her worth, and it is not determined by the number of people who like her or the amount of attention she receives. Her strength lies in her ability to adapt. Life doesn't always go as planned, but she doesn't let that discourage her. Instead, she finds new paths, creates new opportunities, and continues moving forward. Her resilience is unshakable because she trusts in her ability to overcome. She has made peace with her past. Instead of letting it haunt her, she has learned from it, grown from it, and used it to build a better future. She knows that her past doesn't define her, it's what she does in the present that matters most. Her life is proof that you don't need a large social circle to find happiness. She has found joy in the small, meaningful moments, watching the sunrise, pursuing her passions, and simply being at peace with herself. Her happiness comes from within, not from external validation. She doesn't let rejection stop her. Every time someone has walked away from her, she has used it as a chance to grow stronger. She knows that not everyone is meant to stay in her life, and she has learned to let go with grace.